Welcome to Square Max Customs. This week we're going to attempt to make this A-pillar and this section of the cowl and this window channel, and well, we're going to attempt to make this whole corner that's rotted out here. And we're going to do that with, well, flat metal. Why? Because I don't like buying panels and it's more fun this way. But before we start, we should probably get this door out of our way. This 1957 Chevy 210 wagon has been restored a time or two, and she's definitely come a long way. 100 plus patches. But this poor A-pillar, it has not held up. She is rusty. But we should probably look on the plus side. It's less rusty than the other side was, so that's a bonus. Them floors came out awesome. We're going to start by taking our rain guard or drip guard off. But look at this freaking screw. It's had so many paint jobs, there's no head on it no more. It's supposed to be a Phillips. So I'm going to pound on that for a second. Uh-oh. Could you hear all the... Nope, that didn't work. Well, when the screw don't want to play nice, there's always a way. It's no longer a Phillips screw. It is now a flathead. That was nice. If there's supposed to be a screw on the bottom, there's not one on the bottom anymore. So before you all get yelling at me, telling me I got one more. Like there might have been one at one point in time, but she was rotted away like the whole head. Hey, at least this side's still nicer than the other side was. Now we're gonna sand this away and see what we have left to work with. "95 degrees last week and 30 this." Yay, Florida. That's not too bad. I mean, it's okay right here. It's pretty decent. And right here is pretty decent. So that's a plus. The rest of it's, well, it's not very decent. So I'm going to get cutting this out the best I can. And then we'll spray some OSFO stuff in there to help prohibit it from rusting up again. Like I've said before, you're never going to get inside all of this, so like you can only do as good as you can do, because we're not cutting all of it open to be able to spray in the backside of every single piece on this car. It's just not happening. So with that being said, let's get to work. So I'm just going to start by cutting out as much rust as I can. And I don't know about you all, but it's easier for me to follow a line than just free cut it. Like I could free cut it in a second, but it's gonna look better if I could follow a line. She is freaking rusty, ain't she? Well, after I bombarded it with the OSFA, I came in here with a rattle bomb and I sprayed it down there, and I sprayed it upside down and downside up and left side right and right side left, and well, I bombed it the best I could in there. So we're gonna call that as good as we can get. Hey, I knew we had rust up here, but hold on. I didn't realize it was that bad. I should have known, because this whole car is just horrible, but this whole, well, the whole upper channel is rotted out. So that looks like fun to fix, huh? How'd the window stay in? We should have known better though. Like, it's nothing, it's not like it's a surprise or nothing. We'll get it a different week. Let's not worry about it this week. Let's try to do something here, maybe. Okay, let's get at it. Let's start with some cardboard. So for this piece of cardboard, I'm not gonna make a shape. I'm just gonna use it to write some measurements down on. Like 1 3/4. And well, we'll go 1 3/4 by, yeah, 1 1/4. And well, that's all we need. No, we need a length, huh? We'll do 8 inches. Let's make it 10, and then we'll bend it. We cut it down later. It's always good to add a little extra and then cut it down. So I already cleaned my metal. Oh, my freaking ADHD kicked in, and I was over here with the DA cleaner or DA sander, just, you know, minding my own business. Get my metal prepared, because sometimes I forget to clean it and then I bend it and it's twice as hard. So try to clean it before you bend it. And well, I got looking, I saw a little bubble, so I had to sand it. And I saw another little bubble, and I saw another little bubble. Well, what I'm trying to say is we got some holes to fix in the rear quarter, but we sort of knew that. What do you think's under the chrome? Like, once we pull the chrome off, how many holes are we gonna have to fix? What do you mean, you don't think we'll have any to fix? Well, look, right here's one. That's definitely going to be a little hole that has to be fixed. That's a different story. Why are you worrying about stuff that we shouldn't be worrying about? All right, where are we? What are we going to do? 1 3/4 by 1 1/4, 10 inches long. That looks straight to you? Yeah. Oh, it's 12 inches. Okay, we're just going to make it 12 inches long. So we need a 3-inch piece. 3-inch piece, 12 inches long. Like I said, we cut it down later. Not a big deal, not a big deal. I don't trust that edge, so we'll make a new straight edge. And 1 1/4. Well, let's do the 1 3/4, and the 1 1/4 will be a, yes, 1 1/4. Whoa, that's a drunk mark. It don't have to be perfect. It just has to be good enough. Not everything in life has to be perfect, just good enough. Listen, if you made yourself happy doing it, that's all that freaking matters. I don't even have none of my... Oh, we got a new tool. Look at it. I forgot about this. Well, let me get this clamp to the bench and we'll try this thing out. Let's check this thing out. Kenneth, thank you. Kenneth sent this in. What a surprise that was. Thank you, man. It's a sheet metal cutter. And I guess, look, go one way, or you flip your little thing over and go the other way. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's for cutting long stuff or if it's for cutting like lip. I don't know. Let's play, because I don't want to read the directions. I don't know how this works. I don't know if it leaves marks in the metal. What happens when it gets here? Does it go down and up? I don't know. I don't know. Uh-oh. Well, I guess that'll make it pretty easy to cut. It's a lot easier than the snips so far. That's pretty sweet. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Didn't do too bad. It left a little mark. Twisted the metal up a little bit, but that's fine. Well, I sort of like the car over here in the corner of my shop. It gives me a lot more room on the other side. But the only downfall is this is the corner I use most with all my metalwork and stuff. So it's not really convenient. I mean, we could go through. There's a doorway right here, so we could just go through the doorway. The tripod won't fit. You really got to decide how far you want to take your restoration. This one's already turned into way more than what I originally wanted. But that's fine. I mean, we're learning as we go, right? We're getting better at making these pieces. And, well, I got this piece roughed in a lot faster this week than I did 2 weeks ago when we did the other side. Because, well, I learned a lot when I did the other side. So, obviously, this is way too big. I'm not going to cut all the way up into here. But we got some pitted metal over here. Now we treated it with the OSFA, the rust converter, whatever. I don't think I'm going to cut it all the way out up here. So that's what I'm trying to say. You got to decide how far you're going to take it. I don't want to cut more out than I have to. But I don't want to leave rusty stuff, if you know what I'm saying. So we'll cut out the big nasty rust spots. But some of this pitted stuff, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Some of this pitted stuff right here, I'm not going to cut this all the way up here and cut it out. So we'll cut some of this nastier stuff out after we get this up in here a little bit better. At least I think I will. If not, we'll drill these out because like it's all solid around there. It's just got them 2 rust holes. So I mean, we could drill that out and I could hold a piece of copper behind it and we could weld it. What the copper does is the weld doesn't stick to the copper and it allows you to fill in holes. Little trick that my subscribers reminded me of. So thank you all. I do try to pay attention. I don't remember everything. But either way. Oh yeah. I'm going to get this piece cut down now. And I still got to make this end of it go that way a little bit. Like right now it's more straight still. So we got to get this end to curve out a little bit because that's the way the car goes as it curves out. And well, I don't need it this high. I know I could replace it all the way up to there. But what you don't realize is it's got this channel up here. It's like double layers pinched together on the inside and the outside. And it starts separating right in here. Right about here. So that's why I don't want to try to peel this layer off and destroy the inside layer. And that's why I'm doing it this way. Is it right? I don't think I'm really building the car the right way. So I don't really care. It's my way. And I'm going to do it my way. Oh, did I tell you all? I finally bought some bodywork cameras. Yeah. I figured I might as well try a set. I think they're junk and cheap. But for 40 bucks, I figured I'd give it a shot. I won't lie though, I started using this one a little while ago, just doing that piece, and man, I think the metal's soft. It's like a soft steel. I don't know. You get what you pay for, and when you go on there and buy the second cheapest set of body tools, there might be a reason it's that cheap. Either way, I'll use them, and the dollies were probably worth what I paid for the whole thing. So, again, you get what you pay for. Yeah, I'm not going to skin it all the way up there. All right, let's figure out where this separates. Somewhere in here. So we'll just go across here, which is perfect. It'll just sideways. We'll just get rid of them rust holes, so that'll work. And I'll skin it down. Sometimes you just gotta trust your finger and go for it. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. What I'm trying to tell y'all. Yeah. Well, that came out pretty freaking nice. Oh yeah, it's painted and everything. I'm doing the best I can when I paint. You guys gotta remember, I gotta come up with content for y'all. And when you paint something, I put the OSFO on, it's just waiting. It's nice when I can do it at nighttime and then the next day I'm ready for it. Let's get some marks on here. And figure out where we gotta trim this out so we can put her in. I might cut it down a little bit still, because I like making my panel big, and then I can trim it down. It's just like when you buy a new panel. You don't have to use the whole panel just because you bought it. I don't have to use the whole panel just because I made it. You know what I'm trying to say? But it's nice to have the panel bigger than you need it. So I can always cut this down a little bit more because, well, it looks like I'm about a ½ inch over, so I probably will. We'll probably just cut this down. Let's just cut it down a ½ inch. Does that look like a ½ inch to you? Looks like a ½ inch to me. Whoop, we have a little squiggly powder there. And we'll make it go to nothing. Yeah, that looks good. So I probably spent an extra, well, the paint's dry, sorta. It's not sticking to my fingers, but my fingerprints are in it forever. I spent a little more time on this piece than I did the other side, so she actually came out a little bit nicer. I mean, and the end result when we're all said and done is gonna be the same thing, but I like it. It's freaking looking good. It don't have to look this good, but why not try to be better than the last time? Try to get just that little bit better. Oh, we cut that perfect, that one rust hole right here. I should get a different color marker because I got about 7 lines over here now. But that's fine. All right, I'm gonna get that cut out and trimmed up and probably tack this piece in place, and then we'll figure out what piece we want to make next. Well, that's not looking too bad, huh? It's a good start, at least. Is it perfect? No, but we're not exactly going for perfect. We just want a daily driver. I don't really care to take it to the car show or nothing like that. But let's get a couple marks on here. I don't know if this is the right marks, but this is how we mark the other side, so at least the two sides will somewhat look the same. And eventually we'll test the door on one of the sides. I know, I heard a lot of you last week or 2 weeks ago. You need to put a door on. We'll get there. We'll get there. We didn't do no filler work, so if we need to cut and grind and trim and whatever to make everything fit perfect, that's fine. But for the ones that started yelling at me and didn't pay enough attention, I showed you the door. The door on the other side wouldn't have helped us. The whole top was rotted off of it. This door, however, we already fixed the top of it. So we'll try to get this one back on before the episode's over. Try is the key word. Remember the key word, try. That looks... So I think we'll have this rail comes down and it actually rounds a little bit right here. But it almost touches the bottom, I believe. I mean, you got to remember, I'm going off a couple pictures and, well, now I'm going off the other side that I built off of this side that wasn't here to use as a template to build the other side off of. It's fine. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. We'll make it work, is what I'm trying to tell you. Remember, chrome or trim covers everything up over here. So as long as the door shuts, and we got, look at this weird piece, the drip rail, whatever, for, you know, it rains out. That ain't gonna freaking hold the water, and no wonder why these cars rotted out here. But whatever, we'll put one back on it, and we'll make one for the other side, or we'll make one. We're not gonna buy one. Let's not kid each other. I mean, that's gonna go on, whatever, something. Hold on, we'll line it up with the one screw hole we got. So something like that. So maybe my piece is supposed to swoop. Either way, it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it, is what I'm trying to tell you. Don't overthink it. Let's just do it. All right. You're not gonna believe it, or maybe you will, but look it. Remember when we made this piece on the other side? Well, I made it super long. Well, I got the bottom half of it. More than enough. So we don't have to make that piece. We already made it. We do, however, do you remember, look at it, square. And we want it round like that. So I got to dig out that broken screwdriver and, well, we're going to go hit on this and smash it with a hammer until it's round. And I guess we'll get it cut to length. Maybe we'll leave a little bit of this and bring it up and replace just a wee bit of this flange. I'm not really worried about it. It'll be fine, is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Well, another day, or another morning. Oh yeah, I made another piece. Look it came out pretty freaking good. I got it all painted yesterday. Hey, you know how they like to tell you that permanent marker you should really wipe off before you paint because it'll bleed through? Well, it's only one quick coat of paint, but still, that's a fine example of showing you it bleeds through. Look at this little piece. I even built a little end cap. Well, I didn't cut it all the way. I bent it over, and either way, that's pretty sweet. And it's round now. It was square. You saw it. We just had to beat on it a little bit. But that'll look pretty good right there. At least I think it will. We'll get that welded on this morning, and I guess we'll fabricate a few more pieces. Overspray. That's fine. We got to sand the dash and paint it anyways. The car's not staying green. I'm sorry. I'm not really... The green has grown on me a lot since I got this, and we did debate it, but we've done all this work and the car's going to need a paint job when it's done because, you know, my Walmart rattle can expertise picking out paint shades. It's not the best. Well, then again, there's only like 3 shades to pick, so I think I got a darker paint for the top and a lighter paint for the bottom. Either way, it did its purpose, and it looked pretty good while we were piecing it back together. I mean, the roof was rotted off of it. You know, we built the whole freaking window surroundings for the back. Either way, let's get to work here. We got a lot of work left to do this weekend. That looks freaking awesome. It's amazing what one little piece will do. Like, just seeing that in there is, boom, gives you the ambition to keep going. And then once we get this in there, whoo, I got a little trimming to do here because, well, I couldn't get in the corner, so it's a little rounded, and it'll be easier just around that edge. Remember, the better your pieces fit, the better it's going to look in the end before you start welding. At least in my opinion. I don't know. Hey, I had one feller tell me I should have scabbed it all together. Yeah, it would have been better if I would have just made strips and just welded a bunch of scabbed pieces in there, because even though it looks better, that's not better. I don't know. He's probably right. Either way, I don't know. He was probably a body man or something. I told you I'm not a body man. I'm just too ignorant to pay a body man. I just like doing stuff myself. And you all should do the same thing. While we're on that subject, listen, I mean, you don't need a lot of money to do this kind of stuff. We paid $2,000 for this car. $2,000. Yeah, she was a rot box. She didn't run. She was sitting for 30 plus years. But we got it running, and we only spent $250 to get it running. A brand new distributor and wires and oils and some fluids and some other stuff. So at that point, we were $2,250 into the car. I think I'm about $2,500 now, but that's because I just ordered new gaskets and a whole bunch of stuff for the motor. Not a whole bunch, $250 worth of stuff, new motor mounts and stuff. So $2,500-ish, I'm into this whole car. And you could do the same thing. And now, look, we replaced A-pillars, we replaced cowl panels. I know, I freaking hear you. You could have done it better. Well, that's fine, do it. Nobody's stopping you, post it. Maybe we'll watch it. Either way, do it. I'm doing it my way. So if you don't like it, don't freaking watch my videos. We built rocker panels. We built door bottoms. Now, think about it this way. This panel right here, just this pillar, was like $800 freaking dollars plus tax and shipping. That welder is like $500. But you can go to Harbor Freight. I've shown you before. I got it in there still. And you can buy a green titanium one for like $120. Tin snips are about $25 a pair. You can probably get these seamers even cheaper and get snips even cheaper if you go online and actually look, but these are about 30-40 bucks a pair. Vice grips, I mean, everybody's got, well, if you don't have vice grips, either way, just say 10 bucks a pair. You can get them cheaper. Freaking grinder, you can go to Harbor Freight and buy a cheap grinder. This ain't a Harbor Freight one, obviously, but I got them. I use Harbor Freight ones. I think they're like 25 bucks. What I'm trying to tell you is for the amount of money one freaking replacement panel cost you, you could be in business, and you could start not business. I mean, you could go into business. I've thought about going into business, but then you got to deal with customers, and customers just, it's a headache. So back to what we're talking about. Get out there and do it. Buy a pair of snips this week. Maybe next week when you get paid, buy a pair of hand seamers, and when you get paid the following week, buy yourself a grinder. You can buy hand brakes for a couple $100 at, Harbor Freight. You can buy, luckily one of my awesome subscribers bought me the shrinker stretchers. I think I might have worn this one out a little bit with all this heavier gauge stuff, because she goes down a lot further than this one does when you're pushing on it. But either way, under $200. My bead roller was $300. Old piece of metal with a piece of board freaking screwed to it. Priceless. Hammers. Well, I just bought a whole hammer kit. It was 40 bucks. But I think my sheet metal hammer was 40 bucks alone. Screwdrivers. What I'm trying to tell, welding helmet. Spend a couple bucks and get yourself an auto darkening. This helmet's awesome. But either way, what I'm trying to tell you, $500 to $1,000. You could be freaking building yourself a hot rod plus the price of the hot rod. All right, I don't feel like working this morning, can you tell? All right, I'm going to work. That's enough of me. Hey, thank you all for coming back. Love you all. Oh, he just said he loved us all. Yes, I freaking did. Thank you. I appreciate y'all coming back. So we're gonna build this little piece right here. That way our windshield thing's connected. It's got, I don't know, 3 tiny pinholes. Sorry, I didn't mean to kick you. I'm so freaking sorry. Did it hurt? Oh, love hurts. Look it's got 3 pinholes. So we're not gonna cut that whole thing out. Why? Because that's just more work than you need to do. We'll just put a piece of copper behind there and bzzz until they're filled in. Yes, they'll get probably 3 times the size before we start filling them in, but look this is why you don't throw your scrap pieces out. That's 2 pieces this week. We don't really have to, well, I mean, we have to modify them, but we don't have to make them. This piece right here and this piece. What do you mean? Well, they were pieces from other pieces we made, and because we made the piece long, it was extra. Extra, extra, read all about it. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. Where's my cap? Woo! This car's come so far. Oh, come on. Work today. Somebody told me you could sharpen snips. I've been in the sheet metal on and off for, I don't know, 20 years. I don't have nearly that much experience. I maybe got like 2 full years out of the whole 20, but either way, I've worked sheet metal on and off for 20 years. A month here, a month there. Before you know it, you know how to put tin together. Whoa! What were we talking about? Ah! Look, you guys all like, not all of you, but some of you act, I don't know if it'll show up on camera anymore, but my thumb's pretty screwed up. And y'all like, you need to wear gloves. I do not need to wear gloves. I do not like wearing gloves when I'm playing with sheet metal. But let me tell you what. That ain't from sheet metal. Can you even see that? It like sliced along my freaking thumbnail. Well, that's from my cat. Our cat, mine and the wife's cat, our Maine Coon. Yeah. Yeah. When you mess with the cat, well, that's what happens. Nice. Trim a little off the top. We got to give her a little kick. Yeah, what I'm trying to tell you is, well, I get more screwed up from that cat than I ever have from sheet metal. Now, don't get me wrong, I got some nice cuts on me from sheet metal. But that dang cat, his freaking nails are, whew, I tell you, when he freaking puts them out, they're almost the size of mine. It's crazy, is what I'm trying to say. And they're razor sharp. Oh, man, do they hurt. Little freaking brat he is. That's what you get for wrestling with a Maine Coon. I know. I like every second of it. Why are we talking about your cat? We're passing time. It's boring if we don't talk about something. Well, that looks pretty good. We got to give her a little lip down. What are you looking at? I noticed earlier on one of my clips that you guys were looking at like the top of the metal and I was working at the bottom. Well, I'm sorry. Well, that looks pretty freaking good. The top needs a little trim, but we'll do that later on. Let's give this a little kick right here at the bottom where that line, that squiggly mark is. Pretend it's straight. I'll pretend it's straight and we'll make it work. I'm just going to take a pair of pliers and a pair of needle nose and we're just going to bend that little flange. Will it be perfect? Probably not. Does it matter? Nope. Ain't got to be perfect. It's just got to be there. Well, it probably don't even have to be there, to be honest with you. Look at that. Nice little flange. Now we'll get that. Come on. Get that back in there. Had that fit real nice. She needs a little more. It's not good to roll your needle nose sideways. They never work right again. Well, they do for a little while till you twist them just that little bit. That looks freaking beautiful, no? Weld that up and we'll weld that. That's what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna weld it up. Well, it's starting to come together, huh? That's not too bad. I gotta wait till my cutoff wheel or whatever is a little smaller. That way it fits that contour, whatever this is called. Because otherwise I'll hit the edges, and I'm not looking to take metal away from what I don't want. But I just got a little more weld to get down there. Now, here's the thing. It looks like we're almost there, right? Well, we got some hidden rust in here. Can you see it? So I gotta cut that out, and we gotta make a piece for that. That's this inside channel right here. But I wanted to get, look, I got the drain plug back down in there. So remember I was asking, I know I said on another episode, but for anybody that missed it, these little freaking nipple things that are right here have a freaking rubber hose that runs through them. And it runs up to the top here. So like condensation from the window will run down your channel, drip down, supposedly, through that rubber freaking grommet. Hopefully you never get no debris in it, and it plugs up, and then it comes through this hose and it comes down here and it drips out there. Probably why the corner of your fenders rot out. I don't know, I'm just guessing, but we got that back in there. I'm just updating you on what the next step is, and I got to get that. We got to cut that out. That's bad, and we got to bend up a piece and weld it in there. That'll be a fun spot to get it in. But once we get that piece in, then we can start making this. I think I still have the CAD design from the other side. We just need to take it and turn it completely around. If you understand what I'm trying to say, all the bends need to be opposite. All right, let me get the grinder and get cutting. So I think all we got to do for this piece is roll it. We got to roll it and make it look the same as that. And then we'll feed it up in here, and we'll weld her along there. And well, at least that's the plan. So I'm going to throw her in the roller. I can't get you guys in the corner with me to see what I'm doing. So you'll just have to do from here. Well, that's all welded in there, and while I was at it, I filled in a bunch of them holes. I sprayed it with some paint stuff, so we'll let that dry, and then we'll go on to our next piece. Oh, I had it a little while ago. Hold on. Well, I got the freaking CAD programming for this from the other side. And I rebent it the opposite direction, but oh, hey. Thanks, man. I'm remembering to use it. Is this how you use it? I couldn't figure no other way that it held my thing in there. Either way, thank you. I appreciate it. Where did that? Oh, there it is. I freaking knew I had it somewhere. All right, look. I bent it up to go the other way. And, well, we'll get her, go trace her over onto a piece of metal. We're just going to add a little bit right there. That way, well, that way it'll fix that spot all in one shot. Hopefully, maybe. Reprogramming. Okay, something like, we're just gonna reprogram with a little bit of tape. And voila. Oof. Yeah, in 1 second. We'll get it, just a little trim. Sorry, I was concentrating for a minute. Oof. Alright, something like that'll work. We'll get it made and then we'll come back and we'll tweak it after we get it traced over to a piece of metal. Now we'll just trace it over to our piece of metal. And then we just gotta put a bunch of dots on it so we know which side to bend and where to bend it and all that good stuff. Ooh. Hold on, fingers are in the way. And voila. All right, let's see. This will be on this side, so. Oh, I taped it to it. Okay, which one? This one's gonna be on this side. And let's get that back where it was. It's not the best measurement there. Where is it actually bent? Something like here, maybe? I don't know. We're gonna wing it. We're gonna wing it. It'll be close enough. Does that look right? Yes, that's fine. And then we're gonna have to do the other one on the other side, and that'll be on the other side. All right, so the other marks, this is the only one for this side. And then this one and this one will be on the back side. Okay, let's get this cut out. So that thing's pretty sweet for cutting straight lines. For cutting round stuff, it's I don't think it's meant to cut the round stuff like that. So anybody looking to get one, that thing does awesome to cut the straight stuff, way easier than going like this. But it was way more work, and it mangled the piece up, like made it more wavy than if I just cut it with the snips or, well, grinder cuts real nice, but that's loud and annoying, and well, you killed cutoff discs, which if you go on online, you can get them for less than 50 cents a piece. I just ordered 100 of them for less than 40 bucks. Well, the bad thing about not doing both sides back to back is I don't remember which bends I had to put on first. The good thing about not doing both sides back to back is, well, I forgot what bends to put on first, and it makes it more interesting that way. It gets boring making the same pieces over and over again. We'll go for, I think this should be just down a little bit. Nope. Sorry, I don't mean to keep bumping you. We're in a tight corner because the way I put the car in the garage. I hope we did that right. Whoa. Can you see? What are you looking at? Trying. Oh, okay, hold up. Hold up. Where is this side? Can't get to my finger in there. Well, look at it. It goes past the thing. Just slide it over here so you can hold it. Well, that'd be smart. It is what it is. Oh, that should be just a little bit more. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Oh, we got it. That might be a little too much now. But I can get it bent out. It's harder to get it in afterwards. And sorry, I bumped you again. Looks like it's shrinking too much. Sometimes you just gotta use your eyeballs. And if it works, it works. If it don't, well, I guess you're making the piece again. Alright, now we gotta make it roundish. Well, what do you think? Stay. Just so the camera can see. Jeez. Well, it's not too shabby. It'll work. We'll get her all welded in there. And is that how it's supposed to be? I don't know, but that's how the other side is. Now remember, when we go to test fit everything back up, if it's a little bit off or something's wrong, we can always cut it and re-weld it. It's not a big deal. The only downfall is I threw the old window gasket out when we cut it because, well, it was old and dry and brittle, and sorry, we cut it out. So therefore, I can't put the window back in with the gasket to test fit that. I can put the window in and try to guesstimate how far away it's supposed to be. But we'll have to deal with that in the future. And then I was on old interwebs. Yeah, got carried away on there. And I think you got to put the headliner in before the glass. So we probably got to paint it with all the glass out, which sucks because, well, then we're going to scratch it up putting the glass back in. And we're gonna scratch it up, putting the chrome back on, but at least we won't have a bunch of tape lines and stuff, and we should get a better overall paint job, especially because, well, you know, any of you that know me, it's gonna be some type of budget-friendly thing. Y'all gotta stop expecting me to spend a bunch of money. We're gonna have a bunch of money on this because, well, between the glass and the weather stripping and the gaskets, it's like $2,000 alone. So we're saving our money where we can, and we'll buy what we have to. The headliner, carpet, and that type of stuff, and the rest of the interior, another $1,000+ So it'll add up quick when the time comes. And I'm undecided on a color, me and the wife are, because, well, it all depends on how well the body work comes out. Because, like, we can make metalwork look okay, but we still have to fill this all in, and, like, we have to ice the cake, more or less. And, well, I'm learning how to do this all with you. It might look like I know what I'm doing, but I'm really just winging it. So, I'm going to get this painted on the backside, and then we'll get this thing welded in. Well, that's coming out pretty freaking good if you ask me. I still gotta grind it all down, but we got one piece left to make, so I figured we'd make this piece first, and then when I spray the piece to dry on the backside, we'll come over here and we'll clean that up a little bit. And then, oh yeah, look, I started saying, oh man, it's like the most boring thing to do, but all these jambs have to be sanded. Yeah, it's not gonna be fun. But I started in my free time while I was waiting for stuff to cool down before I walked away. Because after your weld, don't walk away for a little bit. Wait, make sure nothing's on fire. Okay, let's make this piece now. I'm not going to get a piece of cardboard out. We're just going to roughly measure this, make our piece a little bit bigger, and we'll start beating on it and bending it and doing all that fun stuff until it looks like this is what I'm trying to tell you. When it starts to look like that, that's when we'll decide to bring it over and start making it fit just a wee bit better before we weld it in. That's your update. So I saved y'all from taking the measurements with me, but we need a piece approximately 8 inches by 1 3/4 inches. Is that what it says? Well, there's 8.5. Oh, 1.5. 1 3/4 on this end. Nice. What? Score is what I'm trying to tell you. That was a freaking score. Heck yeah. 8 inches. Nice. Was this the piece? I don't remember. Yeah. And then we need to, I got an old piece. I thought we had a scrap piece. I think it was, we got to give it about 1/2 inch. It's going to need a kick. But then it needs another kick on the other side to go back up. So I'll double check that and I'll meet you over at the break. Well, I put it in the roller and gave it a little bit of a swoop. Hopefully that works. Now I'm just hoping I got this marked on the right side. I mean, it's not a big deal. It was a little scrap piece, but It's always nice to make our scrap piece turn into a real piece and not have to remake it, right? Right. But worst case comes, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing by making this seam disappear, but it sort of disappears when it gets to the edge, so. That was probably way too much. I don't think that's good, but we'll find out. No, that needs more. We'll try it. So I put it through the roller real quick just to give it a start to a roll. And now I'm going to shrink this side and stretch this side and beat on it with a hammer and just try to manipulate it until it's the shape that we need. Now we did make this a little different than the other side, but that's because the one side of this has to disappear. And I didn't realize that on the other side, so we made a whole flange and then we made it disappear afterwards. So we're just trying something different. Don't be afraid to try different ways, because how are you going to know which way you like the best? Alright, I'm going to put you on fast play while I freaking hand jerk these things until they turn this into a different shape. Well, I've been busy, and it's now Tuesday, and I need to get this video done this morning in my free time before I gotta go do other things that actually pay the bills. So, yeah, we gotta get this done because I still need to edit this video, and then I live out in the boondocks, and my internet sucks, so it takes a little bit to load up the video. So if the video's late, I freaking apologize. I got extremely busy this week. We got an hour of footage already, but we didn't finish the spot. So let's see what we can do. Check it out. The piece is all made. Well, I mean, it's roughed in. It's not too bad. It's hard to see, but it goes all sorts of different ways. The back's all, look it, it's all painted. That'll go in here, something like that. I'm gonna start welding the top, and then what I'll do is I'll come down. Okay, well, you're just gonna have to understand what I'm trying to tell you. We'll get the top tacked in here and here, and we'll get a couple tacks up here, and then we'll run the zip disc, the cutoff disc, the death wheel down through here, and we'll follow the line to cut all this out. We can get in the back so we can pull it out so we don't have to overlap it or no garbage like that. There ain't nothing wrong with overlapping your metal. I don't care what anybody says. Also, I'm not a body man, I'm not a welder, I'm not a fabricator. I just do this stuff on my own for fun. So do what you want, take what you want, throw away what you don't want. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm teaching myself, I'm self-taught. Thank you for all coming along and watching and encouraging me to come back every week and learn more metal work. Thank you. All right, so I'm not gonna lie to you. Grinding the metal takes just as long as fab work. Just to, you know, smooth your welds back out. Maybe if I was a professional welder, I could just burn them right in, but I'm not. I'm just your average redneck using a flux-core welder. No gas. Why? Because gas is freaking expensive, and when you run out, well, you gotta waste time to go get gas. Hey, what's your white letter tires say? Yeah, dare to be different. I know, it's only one, but when we replace the tires, they're all gonna be custom like that. Oh man, it's always hard to get going in the morning. Hey, these hammers aren't too bad for the price. I think it was like $35 after tax. I double checked it yesterday. Where I put it, I do feel like the ends of them, oh, right here, they're a little soft, like, I don't know, they take a good couple indents, but I just keep sanding it down smooth again, and it's definitely not square, but that's fine. Like I said, they're good for what they cost. The dollies are probably worth the 35 bucks alone. We gotta get to work. All right, let's get welding this in. Check it out. Oh, this freaking came out awesome. Freaking lines up. It disappears to nothing. I like it. It's so freaking sweet. That was a lot of work this week. Oh, man. All right. What do you think? Should we probably put a door on to see if it actually fits? That way all you peoples are happy to see if we screwed up or not. If it doesn't fit, that's fine. It's nothing to worry about. Don't get your panties in a bunch or nothing. We'll just bzz, bzz. Tap, 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 bzz, 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 and it'll be fine. So don't get overwhelmed. We'll be just fine. And you know what'd be funny? Maybe we should put the door on, and right as I'm closing the door, that's where I cut the video. I end it right there, and I'll leave you all on a cliffhanger. No, yeah, that would be funny. We should do that. No, all right. Oh man, still freaking dark out. That's all right. We got a little time before the work starts. Let's get this door on. Oh, it's too early for this. I need another cup of coffee. How much do you think one of these doors weigh? Whoa. So, I know a lot of you know, but while we're doing this, let's answer a couple questions I keep getting asked. Am I using a flux-core welder? Yes. Yes, I am. Why do I use a flux-core welder? Well, I don't want to buy gas. So it's cheaper that way for me. Two, the second thing I get, what are you guys looking at? The second thing I get asked a lot, am I welding with galvanized sheet metal? Yes, yes I am. Is it gonna kill you? No, no it's not. Are you the one here welding it? Well, I don't think so. So, I'm trying to tell you, stop freaking worrying about it. Now, don't weld galvanized sheet metal, blah, blah, blah. It's harmful. It'll give you a headache. It can give you the fevers. Ask me how I know. Now I wear a mask. It helps dramatically. Oh, my legs hurt from holding that door up. Is galvanized sheet metal hard to weld? I think it's a little trickier to weld, but once you get used to it, it's no different than anything else. I'm all self-taught, so it ain't like, it's not like I went to school for it or something. I need a deep well socket right here. I just want to get 4 of the bolts in. It's not good when it sort of feels like it's going cross-threaded. But what is cross-thread? Nature's natural Loctite. Did you know I absolutely suck at adjusting a welder? That's one thing eventually that I wouldn't mind doing, is taking a welding class. I just bought a welder one day. Not this one. I got one from, I think way back in the day, it was like Wanad Digest is what I actually got the welder out of. And it was just a cheapie, old school. It was actually a good brand, but it was old and beat, and it lasted me a little while. And when I first started welding, I could only weld like maybe a 1/4 inch or so because, well, I didn't have the right power at the place I lived, so I'd blow the breaker. So I'd weld a 1/2 inch bead and have to run and pop the breaker. Weld a 1/2 inch and run and pop the breaker. It was tiring. But over time, I just kept at it and kept at it and kept at it, and I'm still using a cheap welder. I still ain't very good at adjusting the welder, but this one's actually got an auto setting, and it's sort of like auto sets for you. Is it great? It's great for me because I don't have to keep trying to figure out how to adjust my welder. Now, there's a chart on the side, and you can go by that, and I'll tell you what, in my opinion, the cheap welders, like the $120 one at Harbor Freight, is the best one for the beginners that don't understand all the, well, this thing's got all sorts of freaking buttons and things, and it gets confusing. I actually prefer the cheaper, the easier models because, well, there's usually 2 knobs, wire speed and heat. But either way, okay, enough of me yapping. I'm trying to show you all what I use and stuff. That way, maybe it'll help some of you get into this. It can be an expensive trade, but you can start out with budget-friendly stuff. And we got to keep this freaking generation going. I almost slammed that shut. That would have been bad. I don't know if it's going to shut. We obviously are going to have to adjust it. Now, I'll show you. This car, like the gaps in this thing are ridiculous. Like, they're just tight all the way around. I would have thought this thing had more gappage to begin with. But what I'm trying to say is the gaps were already ridiculously tight, so. Hey, look. So it looks like we definitely have to pull the door that way a little bit because our gap's awfully wickedly tight. And this one's not too bad. Now here's the funny thing, right? We pull the door that way to get this gap a little bit bigger. This gap's gonna end up freaking massive. But we also can't bring the front of the door too far this way because it'll hit up here. But look at that. That's not too freaking bad. It closes. That's the gasket in there. Oh, and it opens. We got it pretty close. Well, there's paint marks on the other side, so I just tried to match up the washers and the bolts to the paint marks. Heck yeah, that's not bad at all. It looks like we probably could have came out a little bit, but that's fine. There's another piece that goes on there, and oh, the chrome goes on it. So it'll probably be fine. Exact, where's the chrome? Well, you have to wait for another episode because I don't have the, that's freaking awesome. We also got to tilt it a little bit, the bottom's out a little bit. But I also built that door on the bench off of the car, if you all remember, so we might have a little hammering to do to tweak the bottom. Who knows? That was, that's awesome. This car has come so far. Now, I don't want any of you to get carried away. There's so much rust repair left to do on this car. So much. It's unbelievable. Like, we have done so much, but like, we're not even close, is what I'm trying to tell y'all. We are not close. We got hood, we got fenders, we got bumpers to fix. We got the other 2 doors on the other side. We got both the quarter panels. We got the upper quarter panels. I don't know, there's like a seam that overlaps each other. Well, They like, that's why they tell you not to lap weld. Nothing I did. It's a factory seam from what I can tell, but it's been lap welded and there's rust pocket in between it and it's freaking lifting up. So, well, we got a lot of work back there. We also got a little bit of work on the trunk lid still. We did the top, but we never did the bottom. So there's a lot. We got to get underneath the car still and just trim up some of our floor pans where we welded it in, and there's overlap. We also got to seam seal everything. I found more rust. Don't forget the roof. Yeah. I mean, I was just poking around. And we still got to finish this side, but look at that rail right there. Yeah, I just started poking around in there and it's a lot of freaking silicone, so it looks like we got another patch to do over there. And I didn't pull this out yet, but who knows, this side might be the same. I'm not sure. Hey, don't forget, after this video, y'all need to head on over to squaremaxmerch.com. We got shirts, we got koozies, we got stickers, we got pens. We sell sticker packs. And if you spend over $20, you get a free custom collector's magnet. Yeah, all vehicles that have been on the channel. And as always, P.O. Box is in the description. We appreciate everything. If you want to send a sticker or something, see it on the wall, send it on in. I'll make sure it gets up there. All right, let's count our patches up. We got one big rail inside here, 2, 3. Do you count that little piece? I mean, we had to bend it up and down and every which way. But it's only like 1 inch, but we're counting it. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the inside, 6. 6 patches for this week. That's pretty freaking good, no? I'm getting parts are coming in. Hey, I have never ordered from Rock Auto in my life. We got some magnets, but they're from my brother. Luckily, I told him what I needed, and the freaking training mounts through Rock Auto were like half the price of anywhere else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, we're almost there. We're getting to that 100 mark. Or maybe we are. I don't know. I don't feel like double counting it. I counted too fast. 96. 96 patches. That's what we're up to. That was the number. I double counted for you all. I freaking heard like psychic. Like I knew 2 of you at least got down in the comments and was like, that's ridiculous. You need to put the number of the patches so we know. I'm sorry. I counted 96. Wow. Insane. Either way, this thing's come a long way. Like, holy cow. I found one of these on there last night for 1,500 bucks. It's freaking shot out bad. I almost want to go check on it it's only like 45 minutes to an hour from my house. I want to go check on it just to see if maybe that inner fender is good and maybe the hood. But looking at the rest of it in the pictures, it's going to be just as bad, if not worse than this one. Although some of the roof spots look better, so it would have been cool to come across that in the beginning. But yeah, you can't always get what you want. I'll stop singing. I probably won't. I actually don't listen to a lot of music. Just stupid verses from when I was younger stuck in my head. Hey, real quick while I got you all here, and you know, I want a first generation Camaro. That's what I'm looking for. I've been meaning to tell you every week and I always forget. I am looking to purchase a first generation Camaro. I do not want a restored one. I don't even want one close to being restored. I'm not looking to spend that kind of money. I'd like to stay $10,000 or under. Way under would be better so we can do some crazy budget build on it. I don't care if it has floor pans. I don't care if it has an engine. I don't care if it has transmission. I don't care if there's interior. I prefer a somewhat complete one because it makes my life easier. But as long as it's got a good shell, preferably most of the glass, a title and a VIN tag. A title and a VIN tag. I'm extremely interested. And please don't be a billion miles away from me because, well, If I have to travel for a week and a half to go get a vehicle, well, that's a week and a half of videos you guys do not get. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to convince myself to do more videos of like, I see other channels, they'll do a whole video on them just going to get the vehicle. Well, I think it's freaking boring, so I don't do it. But I'm trying to convince myself too, because, well, I don't know what's actually boring to the audience unless I record it, edit it, and post it. So we might have to try some new things. You gotta remember, some people get mad at the way we do stuff around here, but anything you do in life, it's a business adventure. This is a business adventure for me. The whole YouTube world is a business adventure. Me being a content creator, well, it's a business adventure. I need to do stuff that keeps the money flowing in. I need to do stuff that keeps the content flowing in. Part of the reason why we don't drop thousands of dollars on body panels, because that's not financially right yet. We can't financially do that. Plus, I actually really enjoy making the panels. I don't enjoy body work so much, but I do enjoy bending metal and making it look like something it wasn't. That's awfully fun. Okay, I appreciate all of you that stayed and listened to me rant and rave and blah, blah, blah. Also, I'll trade for a first generation Camaro. I really want a 67, 68, but I will consider a 69. I don't want a Firebird. I've owned 2 of them already. I'm not looking for a first generation Firebird. I want a first generation Camaro. No interior, that's fine. No engine, that's fine. Rusted floorboards, that's fine. No tires, that's fine. We'll drag it up on the trailer. Preferably a complete shell, a complete body. I mean, black or blue or, you know, a cool color would be sweet, because I don't think I want to restore it to like the level we're going to take this one. I want a ratty old Camaro. I want something I'm not afraid to take to the store. I want something that I go grocery shopping with, and if I come out and, you know, door ding or whatever, no biggie. It's a ratty first gen Camaro. That's why I want it. I want to be able to drive it. I don't want to worry about it. So if you guys come across any, I appreciate it. Closer to Hawthorne, Florida, the better. You know, a couple 100 miles is fine. But I really don't want to travel 1,000+ miles unless the deal is ridiculously stupid good. All right, like I said, that's enough. We got enough time in this week. I appreciate y'all coming back. I appreciate y'all watching, liking, commenting, sharing. It's really helping the channel grow. I think we're at 25,000 subscribers, 2.25 years in. Yay, we're growing, we're getting there. YouTube pays me every month, so that's pretty cool. I love y'all. I'll see y'all next week. Rock out. Peace.